Hi everyone, I'm Julie Berry from Berry Music STL, and I'm here to make another coaching video, a little bit more to the point on the Nashville number system of how to see a chord chart in NNS and how to play a chord chart in NNS and just get right to it without too much talk about chords and scales and inversions and all that stuff. That's on a different video that I made the other day. And so this is just going to get right to it. So I'm going to show you like a traditional worship chord chart that you would get on Planning Center, you know, with the letter notes in there. And I'm going to show you my conversion to NNS so you can show your whole team. Why Nashville number system is like so universal and so great for maybe musicians who were not formally trained or musicians who play by ear, which is amazing. It takes a lot of too much information out of it, just gets right to the point. So again, just a really quick recap, because if you can watch the other video that I created on Nashville number system, chords, scales, and chord inversions, from C to C, there are 8 positions, but we don't count the top C. That's still a 1. So C is 1, D is 2, E is 3, F is 4, G is 5, A is 6, and B is 7. Okay? And know this, and this goes along with this sheet. You can Google Nashville number system chord charts for piano, and just about half a dozen of these will pop up right away. And I'm just going on C chord positions. But the 1 position, always in any single key that you're playing in, is going to be, and we're just talking major keys. We're not going to get into relative minors or anything like that, because Nashville number system just simplifies everything. It's so amazing. So we're just talking about major keys, so the key of C major. The 1 is always going to be major. The 3 is always, the 1 is going to be major, the 4 is going to be major, the 5 is going to be major. Major is that brighter, happier sounding chord. Minor is going to be that more mysterious or sad sounding chord. Beautiful, beautiful sad. Is the 2 position is minor, the 3 position is minor, and the 6th position is minor. The 7th position is going to be your dominant chord, and well, we really actually most of the time we'll do just a 5 over 7, 5, 7, instead of this dominant sounding thing. It's always going to be like a 5-7 most of the time. Okay, so just know that. This will help you transpose. Transpose is taking these positions and going to a different key, like you're vamping out in C, and then all of a sudden the band leader's like, hey, let's go to G. Okay, let's go. So now G is the 1, and A is the 2, and B is the 3, and C is the 4, and so on and so forth. And it still applies. So the 1 is major. The 4 is major, the 5 is major. I'm touching a black key, and you're probably like, if you know about scales, you know that because in G major, F is sharp. If you don't know that, just recap or check out my other video on the Nashville number system, just talking about the scale degrees, and also the formula for major octave scales: whole step, half step, whole, half, and that'll help you just know where to put your fingers in any given major scale, black keys and white keys, okay? So I'm going to play a worship song, but first I'm going to show you the chord chart conversion, okay? So we're going to a cool worship song that I love. It's from back in the day. It's called Worshiping You by Jonathan Stockstill. And this is just a good old Planning Center traditional sheet. I have another one here behind here. So you can see it's in the key of C, and you see the letters. An A minor 7, slash chords, okay, C over F. Some people get confused about slash chords, and I want to just demystify slash chords. They're not that complicated, but they look a little strange if you're not used to them. The thing on the left is actually for pianists what your right-hand chord is going to be playing, and the thing on, did I say that wrong? Yes, I did. The thing on the left is for your right-hand chord, and the thing on the right is for your left-hand one-fingered bass or octave, okay? Bass players are always going to be playing the thing on the right. And so, for example, a C slash F is going to be a C chord over an F one-fingered bass, okay? And the bass players are always going to be doing that situation right there, okay? And that is really what it comes down to. So now what I did is I converted it to an NNS system. So my intro is just starting with my 1 chord. Then I'm going to go with my 6, my minor 6 over 5, or 7, 5, 7. My 1 over 4 is my slash chord, so my C over F, and that just slashed it out to say 1 over 4 instead of C over F. And then my G sus is going to be my 5 sus. I wrote in sus, okay? Then for verse, I just kind of write V for verse, and I just write it out in the same format just so if your musicians are watching the lyrics and whatnot, they can just see that it's really flowing. Pre-chorus and then chorus and then instrumental and so on, and it's really simple. And if you have things such as repeat or some things are identical, you can just do 2x for 2 times, or whatever kind of abbreviations work good for you and your team that are universal. And that way, when you guys, I want to go back to my other camera, sometimes when we're in worship teams, and this has happened in the past with me, you're trying to signal to your band, you're in the moment and you're trying to be like, oh, I feel like we want to just vamp out on this bridge for, a few more times because the congregation's really getting into their worship. Well, you're not going to go all YMCA on everybody and try to do the letter B. You're just gonna, have this written out and, have a symbol for that. And so if you are, chord symboling and you know that the bridge is, just going to be doing the 4, the 5, and the 1, just kind of the symbol is gonna keep going, guys. And you can, if you can hear that one of your band members is off, you got a guitar player that's maybe in the wrong spot and they're looking at you like, help, I don't know what chord I'm supposed to be playing, we're doing the 4 chord right now. And then they'll get their ear back on track. So it's just Nashville number system. So great, so easy, so wonderful. Okay, really big plug, okay, because I've been just binging this book since August, and it is so wonderful. It's called Exploring Worship by a man named Bob Sorge. Pretty much everyone and their mom needs to go buy this and read this yesterday. If you're a worshiper, which everyone who's a believer in Christ should be a worshiper, that's what we were created to do, you guys. It's amazing. So get the book and read the book. It's, oh my gosh, it's rich. And if you're a worship leader, you need to be reading this, and your whole entire worship team needs to be reading this every day after you read your Bible in the morning, okay? Because I really can't emphasize this enough. It's just packed full of goodness. And I mean, it's actually the best book I've ever read on worship, what it is, what praise is, and tons of scripture. And that's what I love about it so much. So buy the book, Exploring Worship by Bob Sorge. All right, so I'm going to just, keep it really simple with my playing a little bit to not get too complicated on worshiping you with the one. I'm trying to call things out as I play it too so you can hear. But I'll do a little quick run through first, and then I'll kind of slowly explain the chords. Okay, so my intro is just going to be the 1, going to that 6, the 1 over the 4, the 5, and the sus. Take this offering that I bring, humbly I fall on my knees to proclaim your everything. My life's nothing without you. Take my hand and lead me through. You are my sustaining love. I live to I drop down. Here I am, worshiping you with all I am, worshiping you, bowing down in spirit and truth, lifted heads, worshiping you. Okay, all right. I'm trying not to get too fancy with all my playing. Just get into it. Okay, so I love 2 chords. All right, can I just show you what a 2-chord is? It just adds a little bit of fluff to it and layers it and just kind of gives it a little bit more substance, okay? So I know it doesn't say 2-chord, but I improvise all the time. So, you know, here's your 1 chord, and yeah, that's really cool, all right? And that's what I started up here, though. I like to layer things. I like to build and create richer harmonies and ranges, so I'm kind of starting, going to the 6. Notice my hand is staying in the 1. There's my sus. By the way, if you don't know what a sus is, I just have to plug this in here, okay? There's a tonic triad, okay, this is a G sus, for example, GBD, all right? You're just pulling the 4th position of the chord, so G, do, 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 there's your 4. And then you're pulling it to the 3rd position of the chord, okay? That's what creates that suspended. Go back to the 3rd, okay? That's what a sus is. And then I bring it down here. And then here's my 2. A 2 is playing the 2nd position of the chord. You see how that's just really nice, okay? Or you could do the, you know, the 3rd and the 5th of the chord. And I'm just kind of leaving that out of there because I'm playing it in the bass. I'm not going to overkill it, okay? I'm not going to do any of that pulsing and moving yet. That's what we're building towards. In the beginning, we really just want to, you know, pull the congregation into the lyric of the song first, okay? So, and I'm going to do a little bit more here. Take this offering that I bring, humbly I fall on my knees to proclaim your everything. Movement. My life's nothing without you. Take my hand and lead me through. You are my sustaining love. I live to worship you. Okay, so I want to talk about that chord progression. On the chart, it's really a beautiful opportunity here too, so it's worth speaking about. The 5/4 to the 4 to the 5/4 to the 4 to the 1. Okay, so I am choosing to, that is a 5, okay, it's still a G chord, but I'm not going to discuss how to invert something because that's on a different video, but I'm using the inversion because it's just rich. I live to, I'm just walking it down. Worship you. I live to worship you. Okay, that's it. I'm not going to get into this too much. I mean, man, we could have a whole conference on how to play chords, how to play ostinato patterns, how to play inversions by Julie Berry, because this is like what I love to teach. But we're going to just stick to chord charts. So simple, right? Okay. Let's go to another one really quick. This is a nice popular one by, I want to say that it's by, not somebody that it was. I was totally thinking Chris Tomlin, and I'm totally wrong. It's called Grace Flows Down, and it's by David E. Bell, Louis Giglio, and Rod Paget. It's a worship song from, I mean, like 10 years ago. It's beautiful. These just don't get old at all. So we're going to go to the chord chart, guys. All right, check it out. This is in the key of A, and I'm excited because I get to show you how we take those positions 1 through 7 and just go plug it into another key entirely. So if you're looking at the planning center chord chart, you've got the A and the F sharp minor and the D2 and the da 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 da, right? I want to erase that and just go right over here to my number system, okay? There's my 1, and I want to show you this really cool symbol. You can totally use a little M to indicate minor, but actually this dash will indicate minor as well. So I have the 6 with a dash, and it kind of goes without saying that the 6 is going to be minor unless otherwise indicated, otherwise, you would just always put that there to eliminate confusion, okay? And the 4 position, I'm going to do a 4-2, okay? So like that crunchy 2 that I showed you before, the 5 sus to the 5, and that's my chord flow on the whole thing, and it matches, it's kind of parallel to the layout of this over here, okay? So we're in A major, and if you don't know this already, there's a couple black keys or sharps in this situation, and again, you're going to figure that out by just using the whole half system. So starting on A, take a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, to know that C, F, and G are sharp. More importantly, position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And it's a muy bueno idea before you even play your chord charts to practice your triads or root position chords on each scale degree. So on A major, go ahead and play that triad, and you know that C is sharp, so have your 3 there. So A is major, okay? And then B is minor, and of course F is sharp. And if it really messes with you, put little sticky tab pieces right above your black keys to remind yourself at first while you're memorizing this before worship practice, okay? B minor, because you should be practicing before you go to worship practice, you guys. Don't wait until worship practice to practice your music, okay? C sharp minor, D major, excuse me, E major, F sharp minor, and then we have, G sharp diminished and A major. I'm focusing on too many things right now. All right, and again, we talked about how the G sharp diminished is really not going to be a thing that we use too much of, so I really don't like to emphasize that too much, but really, really, really important, know your 1 position, your 4 position, and your 5, because those are your super primary major chords, okay? There's your major 1, your major 4, and 5, and it's really good to talk out loud. If you speak out loud while you're doing your practice, it really just clicks into your brain better. You remember things when you hear yourself say them. There's a lot of brain science and music and memory and all of this stuff, and auditory memory. Just kind of experiment with that. If you keep things inside your head, just talk out loud. No one's going to hear you. 1, 4, 5, 6. Just say it and see it on the key. It's good to look at your chord chart, but then look down here and connect with your keyboard. The 1, the 4 is D, the 5 is E, the 6 is F sharp minor, okay? And then also know that your 2 is going to be B minor, because that's going to happen a lot as well. Okay, so in this one, this is Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound, E sus to E, or I'm sorry, I'm going to speak in NNS symbols. Let's go back. The 1, Amazing Grace, 6 minor, 4, and there's technically like a 2 on that, so the 2, remember we're just playing the 2nd degree of the scale. How sweet the sound, there's the sus on the 5, and we're going to do that again. Amazing love, now flowing down from hands and feet that were nailed to the tree. I love that walk down. As grace flows down and covers me. Okay, so I want to show you the walk down that were nailed to the tree is the 1 and then the 1/7. I keep the top of the triad and just kind of walk it down to the 7 because it's so cool. And then I'm going to the minor 6. I kind of stay in position because I like to feel the pull in there, the musical tension, because it leads you to the D, and grace flows down and covers me. So let's just do that part again. So, that were nailed to the tree, as grace flows down and covers me. It covers me. It covers. Okay, I'm gonna try to simplify that a little bit. I like to do melodic things too. I like to create ostinato patterns to give movement, and I'm gonna keep it simple for you guys. It covers me. It covers me. And all I'm doing is breaking that chord if you liked what I was doing. It covers me. And covers me. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Amazing love, now flowing down to from hands and feet that were nailed to the tree. As grace flows down and covers me, it covers me. It covers me. It covers me. And covers me. I mean, you can lead the whole room in worship for like 15 minutes on that song if you wanted to. It's so great, isn't it? So, and everybody's playing a super individual, you know. Don't try to play like me, play like you, and invent your own really cool things that you're doing. I just have a love for chords. I mean, I will pass on new cars and diamonds. I just want chords, right? Chords are so beautiful. And mixing up those sounds and just creating up your own variations of chords and way to play them. A little plug, because I know I'm sticking to NNS tutorial video right now. But like when you take a chord, you don't have to just play it blocked. You can play it broken, and you can play it upside down. You can add little guys in there too. There's just no rules on this. If it sounds good, totally do it. So I hope that this was helpful to you, and just I want to encourage you to explore your options with yourself in your music, using the number system to just simplify things, and really helps you transpose. I'm going to be making a coaching video on transposition tricks and drills to really just get really on your transposition game, so you can make an exercise, a daily routine of it, and then when you're called upon to just switch keys in the middle of a song, you know how to do it like a pro, because it's really fun and it's easy to do once you practice, okay? Well, I hope you all have learned things, and let me know in the comments if it was helpful or not. Bless you all.